Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. And today, I want to talk to you guys about something that I do feel like needs to be talked about, and not just talked about in like a in a passing way. I think it needs to really be discussed, and it's this thing in in our media today, where we have people who own these IPs that we have loved for years, and they go ahead and look at it and say that it is a problem in whatever way. Let's say there's a story there was a story that they thought was problematic or whatever the hell, or there was a certain character that needs to get taken out because they don't fit with the times, or there's certain characters who they feel like need to be updated, which is what we're going to be focusing on today. And I want to talk about specifically why there are so many people who have a problem with this. Because, anytime any of us go out there and we talk about how we don't like how certain characters are changed, the excuse that they always throw back at you is, well, do you just hate this, or this? And either that, or they'll gaslight you and say that you're wrong for thinking that there's a problem, or I don't know, just insert whatever tired excuse that you've heard a million times here, just whatever it is. So, a recent addition to a character that is changed in order to fit whatever the author wanted to do or pander to a certain group, the latest victim of this trend is Tim Drake. Tim Drake, who apparently for years has been straight, has always only ever been into girls, is now all of a sudden just he's in the recent run of the comics, he's apparently dating a dude. Now, obviously, there are some people who say, "Well, don't you see they revealed he's bisexual?" Actually, no, he's not. No, he is not bisexual. Let me tell you something. In this day and age, whenever you hear someone say that, oh, this character is bisexual now, do me a favor, always assume that when they say bisexual, they just mean gay. They just mean gay. You know that's what they mean. They're just saying, oh, he's bisexual. Do you want to know why they're saying bisexual? In this case, they're saying Tim Drake is bisexual. It's because, like I said, for years the character has been straight. He's only ever been into women, and now all of a sudden he's asking a guy. He's asking a guy out, and their excuse is, well, he's bisexual. No, he's not. He is not bisexual. You are just using the term bisexual to justify why he's asking a guy when for years he's only ever been into dudes. And now, in this day and age, whenever you see in any popular media, they say, oh, this character is bisexual. No, they just mean gay. Just say that they're gay, because when they say he's bisexual, they just want the character to be in a relationship with another character of the same sex. Whether it's guy or girl, it doesn't matter. They will always only ever be in a relationship with a character of the same sex. They will never be with a character of the opposite sex. The only time they will ever let that happen is, oh, well, this was in my past. Now I'm into you, and the person that they're talking to is a character of the same sex. That's the only excuse that they will ever allow. You all know it's true. You know it's true. But like I said, I don't want to focus just on Tim Drake, on what happened with him in the recent run of in modern comics. I'm only using him as an example, but I'll elaborate on him. And the reason why I'm using him as an example is because everything that happened with him here that I'm about to go through with you is things that we have already seen so many goddamn times. So many times by now, it's honestly getting boring. So this is from Bleeding Fool, and they talk about how is anyone surprised that they made Tim gay? No, no one's surprised. They've been doing this, like I said, for a while, and we'll get to that. So we see Tim Drake again through the years, only ever been interested in women. Move on over to the next. Again, like I said, woman right here. And now all of a sudden, this is the guy, by the way. This is the guy who he's with right now. Talking about how this guy is telling Tim as, hey, can I ask you a favor? If I don't make it out, just tell Tim I wish we could have finished our date. And then Tim's going, like, yeah, I heard you or whatever. Fucking hell. And then he goes over And he asked him, by the way, I just want to point something out. Tim Drake, I heard, is supposed to be 18, 19. Let me ask you something. Does this look like an 18 or 19-year-old? He looks, he's, sorry, hold on. Forgot to mute this. There we go. He looks like he's 14. He looks like a fucking teenager. He looks like he's 14, 15, and yet he's supposed to be 18 or 19. Just wanted to point that out. So yeah, they made Tim Drake gay. And this next thing that I want to talk about is an example of, this is who, I just want to show you the kind of people that they are pandering to. These are the kind of people who are okay with this, happening. Let me just show you. So just some guy decided to post this online, talking about this page specifically. He talks about how it's official, DC Comics is now a boy love publisher. The writer made Tim Drake bisexual because reasons, and mostly it's just lazy writing, that's true. Ironically, manga still does this better. Yeah, he talks about how, he talks about here, because there's this genre in manga called yaoi, which basically translates to, it's basically guys in gay relationships is basically what it is. And he talks about how it's a genre, and yeah, manga still does this better. Manga, do you want to know why people are flocking to manga? It's because manga is actually interested in telling original stories. The people making mangas are interested in telling their own original stories. Now, yes, is there some how do I say this? Are there some stories that feel like they're similar to a lot of other stories in manga? Yes, of course, that's true. Hell, just look at Shonen. Most of the stories there are pretty much use the same format. But it doesn't matter, because they take that format and they make it unique to their own. And you want to know why manga does it better? Is because they make their own original characters who happen to be gay, especially authors who specifically make boys' love stories. So yeah, he basically posted this, and let me show you again. The reason why I pointed this out is because I wanted to show you the kind of people that they are pandering to. And again, it's because of people like this that comics keep doing this. Seriously, if everyone were to basically deny this, and a lot of the people who deny this are members of the LGBTQ community, by the way. A lot of people like to forget that, because they want to paint this narrative that, it's only a bunch of straight white men who hate this, when in reality that is not the case. A lot of people in the LGBTQ fandom also hate this shit. Especially just some guy who, by the way, in case you don't know, is bisexual. And that's important for the point that I'm about to make, because again, it shows you the kind of people that they are pandering to. So this idiot, this fucking moron, decided to quote tweet in response to just some guy's tweet. He says, Tim Drake, the character that has been queer-coded and teased for almost all of his time in the comics. No, he's not, by the way. Seriously, if you're whining about Bi Tim, then I guarantee your reading of his stories have only ever been surface level deep. So let me just get this straight. You're accusing him of only looking at the surface, when all you saw in Tim Drake throughout the entire time he's been in DC Comics was the fact that he's queer-coded. And you want to accuse him of having only a surface-level appreciation of the character? Are you fucking kidding me? This is why we tell you to ignore these people, because these people have no idea what the fuck they're talking about. And just to give you an example, some of the examples that they're using, or one example in particular, is back in DC Comics when Superboy died and Tim Drake was crying over it. They say, it's because he was in love with him, not because his friend died and he had a perfectly normal human response to it, where he decided to just let it all out, just whatever emotions he kept bottled in, just decided to let it all out, just let himself grieve. It can't be because he was a good friend of his and he's sad that he's gone. No, it's because he wanted to suck his cock. He's just upset that he didn't get a chance to drink his cum while he was still alive. That's what these fucking people think. And then if you go to his responses, and he's just being destroyed. He is being absolutely destroyed in the comments, just being absolutely destroyed. So just some guy decides to respond to him. It responds to him and saying, no, he hasn't. And if your deep readings are the only way to see his queer coding, it's just in your head, like the boyfriends you'll never have. And then he goes on to say, oh, writers have admitted to it. DC posted an article on it a few years back. Queer fans have been saying it for over a decade. I never said it was a Mariana Trench level deep reading, just you gotta look beneath the surface a few inches. And then someone responds with, oh, really, really? And so they've known about him for years, and yet only ever decided to give him a bunch of companions that are all women? Oh, yeah, yeah, sure, sure, buddy, sure. Sure. Okay, so he decides to respond to that and saying, "Imagine pulling out your homophobia this much." Okay, remember when I said just some guy is bisexual, and now he's calling him homophobic. He's calling him homophobic, and oh, the response to that is, oh, this person said, "You know he's bi like me. You're crazy." And this person's response is, "Oh, you have internalized homophobia." Yes, yes, you are absolutely correct, Byron. Someone not wanting scraps off the table is apparently internalized homophobia. Someone not liking their character being changed to be something that they're not is homophobia. Of course, of course. And again, these people wonder why no one ever takes them seriously. But again, these are the people that they want to pander to. And then he decides to respond to him and saying, imagine accusing a bisexual dude of homophobia because your clapback game is weak. And then look at this guy. Proud queers don't shit on queers for liking queer content. He never shat on you for liking it. You are literally the one who chose to respond to him. Talking about how, oh, you're the one who chose to respond to him, and all he did was talk about explaining why DC Comics is garbage because they keep doing this shit. He didn't talk about anyone liking it. He didn't mention anyone who liked it. He just talked about how this is why there are so many people who are abandoning DC Comics because they're sick and tired of the pandering bullshit. And then you decided to respond to him, and then when he decided to respond to you, now you're gaslighting him, saying that he's being homophobic. And then when he responds to you again, you decide to say, oh, he's having internalized misogyny or whatever the fuck. Fucking idiot. Just fucking idiot. And now you're saying that, oh, he's shitting on others for liking queer content. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. He never did that. You are making shit up. So yeah, that's the whole thing I wanted to say on the Tim Drake thing. Now I want to just bring up, like I said, the fact that this isn't the first time that this has happened. And again, I'm only talking about Tim Drake, and I brought up this guy Byron, which by the way, I just want to clarify: leave this guy alone. Do not go after him. Seriously, I do not condone that in any way. I'm just pointing it out because it was there. Okay, seriously, I'm serious. Leave the guy alone. This guy decided to respond to him, and I'm only using him as an example because these are the people, like I said, who DC Comics are pandering to. These are the people who gaslight you for daring to criticize something and saying that, no, you're wrong, you are making shit up. But again, Tim Drake is just the most recent example. Remember, and oh yeah, I just wanted to use Alex Messer. This guy decides to say, yeah, here's some images that I find relevant today. Yeah, his relationship with Stephanie Brown. Just another image, his relationship with Stephanie Brown. Yeah, this is all his relationship with Stephanie Brown, who's also known as Spoiler in the comics, who used to be a Robin herself. Yeah. Oh, but he's always been bi. Yeah, sure. And I just wanted to bring up some examples because this isn't the first time this happened. Like I said, remember this? Remember when they made Iceman gay? When for years Bobby Drake has only ever liked women, but now all of a sudden, since comics have come into the modern age, now all of a sudden characters that have never been a certain way are all of a sudden they're changed to be something completely different. Let me ask you something. If Bobby Drake was gay, why would he be interested in any woman whatsoever? Why would he be interested in any woman? Now, some people might say, well, it's because he was trying to hide it. Then how come in none of the dialogue we've seen with Bobby Drake ever, it's never been even hinted at when it comes to him even remotely being gay? And that he's only being with women because he's trying to hide it. No. No, he never was gay. You made him gay. Excuse me. You made him gay because you're trying to pander to a certain group. And then, one of the more recent examples, Wolverine and Cyclops. Wolverine and Cyclops, who have only ever been straight their entire lives. And Wolverine, Logan, who's been alive longer than even Cyclops and Jean Grey, longer than even Charles Xavier and Magneto, never once expressed an interest in men. Now all of a sudden, they did this whole thing where Wolverine and Cyclops realized they're both into Jean Grey, and instead of just having Jean Grey choose, which by the way she's always ever chosen Scott, they decided, hey, let's just have Wolverine and Cyclops fuck each other. And again, another example, so now they're tokenizing characters like Batman, where now they're going to basically make, what was his name? Luke Fox? Yeah, Luke Fox is going to be the new Batman. And you want to know what I find absolutely hilarious about this is they made Luke Fox Batman, but then someone complained saying, well, Bruce Wayne should have been black the entire time. It says Tim Fox or what? Okay, so I guess it's not Luke Fox. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with modern comics, so I only just heard about this, and I'm only using it as an example. I remember hearing about this, and I thought it was, oh, it's got to be Luke Fox because he has a connection to Lucius Fox, who has a connection to Batman. So Luke Fox being the choice would be obvious, but now it's some guy named Tim Fox. I don't know. I don't give a shit. Either way, it's just an example of them race swapping a character, and then they still complain. They still complain because these people that you're pandering to, it will never be enough for them. It will never, ever be enough for them. You gave them a black Batman, and now they went on to say, oh, well, you should have made Bruce Wayne black the entire time because it would have been more relevant or whatever the fuck. And again, I'm only using these examples to make the point that I wanted to make with this video. And that is the fact that it is because of shit like this. It's because of shit like this. This is why the comic book industry is dying. Or I guess you could say the comic book industry basically is dead. Because they are not selling. They think that LGBTQ people just want to see already established characters be made members of the LGBTQ family. No, that's not the case. They see it as pandering. Instead of, I don't know, creating a new original character who just so happens to be, I don't know, a lesbian, or just so happens to be gay, or just so happens to be trans, or just so happens to be asexual or intersexual or whatever, or queer or whatever you want to say, instead of doing that, you decided to take an already established character and just say out of nowhere, oh, this person's gay now, or oh, this person is bi, or whatever the fuck. And then you ask them, okay, but what about the characters in DC Comics who already are gay? You never thought, hey, maybe I should take this character and write some great stories with them, bring them into prominence? No. What about the characters of color that you like to say? What about the black characters? Or the Asian characters, or the Latino characters? What about all of them? Can't you take them, make some great stories with them, bring them into prominence? Can't you do that? No, they can't. They can't because they don't have the talent to do so. And they know that. That's why they take already established characters and just change them. This is why people are tired of Hollywood. And again, the comic book industry is just an example. This is why people are just sick and tired of Hollywood and their BS, because more and more people are waking up to the fact that Hollywood it doesn't see them as actual people. It doesn't respect them as actual thinking human beings. They only see them as wallets. And they think that this is the best way to get to your money. Which, by the way, speaking of money, I just want to talk about how this person, I'm willing to bet, has never bought a single comic book their entire life. Because these people don't buy comics. They don't buy them. If they did, then sales would be through the roof. If there really are as many people who love this as they say they do, then why are comic book sales tanking? How come you don't buy the comics? How come you don't buy the merchandise? How come you don't go see the movies? How come you don't watch the shows? It's because you don't actually give a shit. You've never given a shit about these characters. And this is why so many people go out there and say they don't like this. It has nothing to do because someone's going to go out there and say, "Oh, you just have a thing against gay people." No, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the fact that this is a character that we like and you are disrespecting them. You are making them into something that they're not because of, you know what, in all honesty, the reason doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because all that matters is that you are changing the character. You say that you care about this character. No, you don't. If you did, then why did you change him? Or her? Why do you change any of these characters? And again, I'm only using Tim Drake as an example. Like I said, this has been done before with Iceman, Wolverine and Cyclops, Batman. This has been happening for years. It's why like I said, the industry is tanking. And more people are walking away, not just from comics, they're walking away from movies, they're walking away from TV shows. They're out there and they just decide, you know what, I'm just going to go make my own thing. That's why you're seeing so many projects on Indiegogo or even on Kickstarter. People even still use that thing because people are sick and tired of it. They are tired of the bullshit. They are tired of you seeing them as nothing more than just names on a list that you need to check every now and then and go, "Oh, well, there's our obligatory gay character. Oh, there's our obligatory trans character. There's our obligatory disabled person. There's our obligatory person of color." That's all. That's all they see you as, and people are tired of it. People are waking up to it. So anyway, I'm gonna end this video. It's already gone on long enough. I hope I've made my point, and if you enjoyed the video, you guys know what to do. All the YouTube stuff. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, I hope you check out my next video. Bye for now.